Good morning, everyone. We're continuing here in the words of the CHOFETZ. We're speaking about the ability that you have to speak Lashon Hara when you are doing it l'to'eles. You're doing it for a benefit. And he says, V'kol zeh, all of these 7 conditions that we spoke about last time that you must fulfill in order to speak Lashon Hara when it's l'to'eles for a benefit. V'kol zeh im haraya toiv mimena. That's only if you, let's call you Reuven, who's seeing the misdeeds of Shimon, is that Reuven is a better person than Reuven, meaning he doesn't sin in the way that Reuven does. So then you have permission to go and speak your mind about what he's doing wrong to be able to protect other people. However, if Reuven is a sinner just like Shimon, he is afflicted with the same sickness of sins, the way that Shimon is. Then Reuven would not be allowed to publicize the actions of Shimon. Why? Because we assume that when a person like Reuven, who himself commits the same sins as Shimon, or like them, it's not because that when Reuven wants to reveal the sins of Shimon, that he has good intentions and the fear of Hashem, and he wants to maybe help Shimon do tshuva, or he wants to warn other people, be aware of him and stay away. That's not his intention. Rather, all he wants to do is to rejoice in the misfortune and the mistakes of Shimon, and he wants to denigrate and put him down because of his misdeeds. Because as we know in English, we say misery loves company. If I'm a sinner, I can't take the brunt of my sins all to myself. But if I find someone like Shimon who also does the same thing, so then I don't have to feel so bad about myself anymore. So I'll reveal his sinful behavior to others, and that way I absolve myself. I justify myself, and therefore my intentions are completely wrong, and it's not coming the ta'elis for a benefit, and therefore I have no right to be able to tell over the words of warning of Lashon Hara about Shimon. And the CHOFETZ now brings a proof to this from a story that we find in the Navi Melachim. And the story over there is about a person by the name of Yehu that was instructed by Elisha, the prophet, that he had to wipe out the family of Achav because Achav and his family were involved in idolatry. Yehu did what Elisha told him to do, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave him a reward, and that was that there were 4 generations of his descendants sat on the throne as the Jewish king. Nevertheless, Yehu himself later turned out that he went towards idolatry to avodah zarah himself, and therefore he ends up getting punished for destroying Achav's house. So even though HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Navi, told him destroy the house, and he did, and he got a reward, once that he himself turned into the world of idolatry, he lost the schus that he had before, and therefore he was punished as a result. It already is told over in the similar case. Yisrael al beis Yehu. I'll avenge the blood of Yisrael on the house of Yehu. That means that what Yehu was punished for wiping out the house of Achav, because he himself was found guilty of the same exact sin. Even though that Yehu did a mitzvah at the time, and he wiped out Ba'achrisai as Beis Achav Yisrael, he ended up wiping out the house of Achav amongst Yisrael. The Navi commanded him to do such a thing. And he was rewarded with 4 generations of kings coming from him. Like it says in the pasuk in Malachim, since you did everything that I said, leveis Achav, to the house of Achav, b'nei Revi'im yeshvu lecha al kisei Yisrael. You're going to see 4 generations of your descendants on the throne of Yisrael. They're going to be kings. B'chol zo is nevertheless nifkad alav lebesayf demei Achav. At the end, Yehu was held accountable for spilling the blood of Achav, mibnei ki gam hu hayarav pesha, because he himself also was very sinful when he turned to idolatry. And therefore, says the CHOFETZ, I'll bring you a proof that if your intentions are pure about to'elis, about the benefit that the person that you're speaking about is going to receive, he's going to get his rebuke, he's going to stop doing what he's doing, other people know to stay away from him, so on and so forth, you're allowed to say it. But if your intention is, I'm also a sinner, so therefore I want to reveal what this person does to incriminate him, so I don't have to feel so bad about myself, says the CHOFETZ Chaim, you have no right to do it. And that's what we see from Yehu. You're rewarded for destroying the house of Achav, you get 4 generations of kings, but then you yourself turn. It's even a bigger chiddush. He only turned to avoid his idolatry after the whole fact, and still he was punished as a result. So Allah has come all the more so a person who at the time that he's speaking lashon hara about Shimon over here is holding by the same sins. So then for sure he has no right to say the degrading lashon hara about Shimon when he himself is suffering from the same spiritual maladies. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful Shabbos.